Hello, I'm Jonathan here at Shed Repair, and today I'm going to teach you how to install a single wooden shed door. The door I'm installing today is one that you can purchase on our website at shedrepair.net, but this install video applies to any wooden shed door that is built specifically for the shed industry. Here are the tools you'll need for this project. Probably need a knife to unpackage the box. You're going to be cutting some trim, so you'll need some type of a saw, probably a speed square, tape measure, a pencil. You'll need a screw gun with a number 2 square drive bit to install the hardware. Then there's going to be some adjusting as well to the hardware, which you'll need a vice grip and an Allen wrench set for that. And also potentially you'll need to notch out for the latch, which you'll also need a hammer and a chisel for that. Here's the hardware that you'll need for this installation. When purchased on our website, this door comes with a hardware kit, and it includes all the hardware and fasteners that you'll need for this installation. Here's what the hardware kit includes. Here I have the 3 hinges. I got the outside L-handled latch, and then the inside D-handle. I have a bumper, and I have 2 bags of screws. Looks like 2.5-inch black screws there for the hinges, and then some 1.5-inch trim screws. Let's get started unpackaging the door and installing the hardware. Okay, so it looks like I have the door packaged up here, and then I also have the trim in a bundle there, so I'm going to go ahead and unwrap it. So this is a couple different pieces of trim here. The 1x4 trim is going to be the mounting trim that the door screws to. And then I have some jam trim. And then I have the door. This is a 36x72 transom style door. I'm going to go ahead and get the hardware installed now. The nice thing about this door is that everything's pre-drilled for the hinges and for the latch, so it makes it super quick and simple to get this hardware installed. That just pops right in, 2 screws. Get this installed on the back side yet. All right, that looks good. All right, I think we're all set to go install the door. Before we get started with the installation, I want to talk a little bit about the opening here. This opening is framed so that the wall sheathing is routed off flush with the framing. The wall sheathing here is 7/16, which if I add that thickness to the thickness of my trim that the door will mount to, equals the thickness of the portion of the door that is on the outside. So that's a detail that's important. You want to make sure that the thickness of your wall sheathing plus your trim equals the thickness of the door, at least the portion of the door that is going to overlap your floor. So yeah, I just want to make a quick note of that before I get started. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all my trim. I have jam trim that gets installed on the inside of the opening here. That'll get installed after the door is in place. And then I also have the perimeter trim that goes on the outside. But I'm going to get all my measurements, cut all my cuts, get this all out of the way, and then get started installing the door. 71 1/4. So my opening is 36 1/8 by 71 1/4. You'll notice that there's 2 different thicknesses of jam trim here. The one that's the thickest goes on the latch side, but they both get cut to the same length. All right, so these are cut just a little bit long to allow for different opening sizes. So that'll work great. I think I'm gonna cut my first one, my top one first. Get that one cut to 36 1/8. And then I just have to subtract the thickness of that trim, which is 3/4 inch from 71 1/4. So I'll be at 70 1/2. so this trim piece here has a bevel, 12-degree bevel on the edges. That's actually just goes on last after everything else is installed. That'll go over top. And then I just need to get a measurement from the floor on the outside or the bottom of the wall sheathing up to the top of the opening. Looks like I have 75 1/4. All right, actually this trim is cut just the right length here, so I don't even have to cut any more off of that. I can go right into getting this perimeter trim installed now. So we send along 2.5-inch screws for this. And this trim can just be mounted flush with the inside of the wall sheathing here, flush at the top. And I'll just put one screw in for now. And I'll put one in the bottom. Same way over here. I just want to get this trim put on. And then I'm going to want to square my opening before I attach the door to the trim. I'm obviously going to want to make sure that the opening here is going to fit my door. My door is exactly 35 3/4 by 72. So I should have 1/4 inch more than that here to allow for a bit of a space here where my latch is, making this opening 36 inches, which is exactly what I have. So now all I have to do is make sure that the trim opening here is square. All right, so it looks like it could be shifted over just a little bit. Just a hair. That should get us close. All right, we should be all set. I'm gonna go ahead and mount my door. All right. All I need here, I'm just going by the top of my trim. And I need this door to clear the floor a little bit and basically even out the distance on the top and the bottom. So I'm looking for about 1/8 to 1/4 inch up top. Down from my trim, so that'll be about right. I'll put one screw at the bottom yet. It's looking pretty good. Just need to adjust my trim out here a little bit. Just gonna make a minor adjustment here, move it in a little bit. I think I got my trim all nicely squared up there with the door, so I can go ahead and finish fastening the hinges. I'm gonna also install the shed bumper here as well on the middle hinge. That just creates a way for the door to stop before it slams against the wall if it's caught by the wind. Just center it out. They sent plenty of 2.5-inch screws along, and those are for the trim as well. That's what I'll use to finish fastening the trim. So, next step is to install the jam trim. So as you can see on the inside here, the door is going to need something to close against. So that's what the jam trim is for. We just have to make sure that we get it installed nice and snug against where the door is going to close. All right, perfect. And then the thicker of these goes on the latch side. All right, looks like we're in business. Now, as you can see on the bottom here, this jam trim is installed exactly flush with my floor edge. That just means that the door is going to close right against there. This is exactly what I want. Now the only thing left to do is make some final adjustments here. As you can see, now my latch is going to have to, is hitting this 2x4 jam here, so I'm going to need to notch that out with my hammer and chisel. So this is going to take quite a bit of chiseling. I could spend 10-15 minutes doing that, but I just happen to have a cheap tool here, which is my multi-tool, so I'm going to just go ahead and use that. All right, that's working great. You can always check the depth of your adjustment here on your D handle. It appears that it's adjusted about right for where I need it, so I'm just gonna let that go for now. The other thing I wanna note here is that this door comes with straightening hardware installed on the back side of it. And actually, if I take my vice grips and I turn these adjustments here, it actually pulls the door together. So these are in place to keep the door from warping. And if in fact it does warp over time, all you have to do is come along, and if the bottom of the door is pushed out, all I have to do is tighten this up, pulls it right back in. If the top of the door is pushed out, all I have to do is tighten this one a little bit. So it makes it very nice and handy to have this on the door, just in case it ever moves around with the weather and so on. So there you have it, the door is installed. I just have to make sure my key works properly here yet. I think we're all set. This door is a primed door, so technically it'd be ready for puttying and prep for paint. The particular material that is used on this door is an engineered wood product with a primed coating that, you know, is good for about 6 months or so till it gets painted, but we always recommend painting these doors before too long after the install. Thank you for watching this installation video. If you have questions regarding shed door installation, you can comment below or go to our website and fill out the contact us form. If you want to purchase shed door and hardware kits, you can go to our website at shedrepair.net.